you're a fat, masculine presenting content creator, you get used to the insults hurled your way because the internet is full of perpetually uncreative sods whose only form of comedy comes from the worm eating away at their brain that eerily looks like Andrew Taint Hole and sounds a lot like Elon Muskrat. With that being said, haha, you should cosplay the clown has been thrown at me more than once, and despite how ungodly unfunny that joke is on the 400th time that I've heard it, if I was into cosplay, I might actually do it, because the clown is very interesting. The clown is a character I've found hard to pin down in the past. On one hand, his complexity is enough for someone to write a 150-page guide on him, but on the other hand, purple bottles go brrrr. I find playing him to be relaxing, turning my brain off sort of vibe, and I find playing against him to be mildly infuriating. Back when I had my How to Fix series, the clown was never in my sights as, to be honest, and for the longest time, there really was nothing wrong with the clown. Well, let's see if that's still the case, as today we return to my second favorite series I do on this channel, where we take a look at a killer's lore, themes, gameplay, perks, add-ons, and more to give a definitive design score. Remember, this is largely an audio experience, so feel free to throw this on a second monitor, your phone, Nintendo Switch, or whatever. Check your screen for description and time codes, and let's dive into Kenneth Chase, aka Jeffrey Hawk, aka The Clown. If I could come up with one word to describe the lore of the clown, it would be inoffensive. It's not empty and boring like trappers, not schizophrenic like hags, not intriguing like doctors. It's good, but nothing that strikes a chord with me. Kenneth Chase is a rather psychotic lad, hated by his father from birth since his birth caused the death of his mother. One day, after years of killing small birds and animals, he killed a man and took his finger. After Kenneth sees that his father finds a cigar box with all his keepsakes of his kills, including the man, Kenneth runs away to join the circus, donning the name Jeffrey Hawk. From there, he uses his clown persona to get close to people and kill them and take their fingers if they make his balls tingle enough. Jeffrey derives a kind of sexual pleasure from fingers, and it doesn't matter from who they come, whether they be young or old or man or woman or whatever. Like I said, it's rather basic psycho murder story. Absent father who hates him, childhood violence, blends in well with society so his evil side is hidden, and some freak of nature fetish that makes him a murderer. Basic, but effective. Of course, my summary doesn't do it justice. The entire story can be rather chilling when you read it in a dark room with the right music playing, but because it's so basic, I can't really do anything with it. There's no analysis to really derive from a serviceable storyline, no hidden meanings or plot lines to pick apart. Jeffrey is just a psychopath through and through. Unlike the Doctor, Jeffrey doesn't even have a superiority complex or some kind of personality to really look at and think about. At one point in his tome, he greases the bar for a trapeze artist, causing her to plummet to the ground and die, and he finds this absolutely hilarious. Humans are not real to him, they are his playthings for his amusement. One of my more fond memories of me and my dad is when we went to see one of the Friday the 13th movies. I forget which one it is, but in it, Jason zips up a woman in a sleeping bag and begins whacking her against a tree. And my father and I found this killing method to be so absurd that we couldn't help but laugh. And that's Jeffrey, except with real people. He sees people as characters. Any way they die is funny to him because they aren't real. But what am I supposed to do with that information? That's half the killers on Criminal Minds. It's a placeholder for psychos, a filler episode written to satisfy the masses while you have the more engaging psycho around the corner. In any case, like I said earlier, Jeffrey's story is basic, but a fun read if you like those kind of stories. The thematic design of the clown is just like his lore, basic but effective. The perks each have a circus or clown theme with a nice spread of effects that work well with the clown and his backstory, trapping his victims with bamboozles, scaring people who are already weak with coilophobia, and causing more damage to undo what others have done. For his add-ons, they all have various connections to his backstory, and for the most part they match his lore in terms of what he did, from the anesthesia he learned about to the cigar box from his childhood. The fingers as iridescent speak to his entire motivations and more. His Mori is also incredibly well done. Having him brutally stomp someone's skull in before taking their finger and sucking it like a popsicle is the kind of sick and sadistic shit I'd expect from him. His chase music and Terror Radius are both circus themed, and his animations, my god, the hit animation is one of the most satisfying things in this game. Hitting a survivor and hearing the as he twirls the knife in a beautiful flourish is just mwah. One of the goals of animation and sound design in games is to give the feeling to the actions you take. Let's take Oblivion, for example. The combat in Oblivion feels like I'm flinging a wet pool noodle around, and that's because its animation and sound design in terms of combat just isn't very good. It feels empty and unfulfilling, but in Skyrim, each blow has weight to it. The sword swings not only look good, but the sound design and slight shake and blood splatters give a sense of heaviness to the blows. The same thing applies in Dead by Daylight. The dev's art team have always been on top of the world in my opinion. DBD is a beautiful game, and its sound design and art style is so unique and fun that the art team nails most of it, if not all of the weapon hit animations. But for me, the clown's weapon wipe sits somewhere in the top 5, and god, I love this hit animation so damn much. Overall, the clown is well designed in the thematic department. Again, most of it is very basic, but it does the job it needs to do, and it does it in a satisfying way. The clown is a killer who is simultaneously complex and also completely brain dead at the same time, and there is a simple fix that I will get to much later in this section. The clown's power is the Afterpiece Solutions, or the Afterpiece Tonic and Antidote. Pressure active ability button to hot swap between the tonic, which hinders survivors passing through the cloud of gas they produce by 15%, and the antidote, which gives both you and the survivors a haste of 10% if you pass through its cloud of gas. The tonic is purple and the antidote is yellow. In order to use the selective color, hold your active power button to ready it and press the basic attack button to throw it. Bottles fly in an arc and move between 8.5 meters a second to 14 meters a second when fully charged. This of course changes the trajectory arch. Direct hits do not enhance any effects unless you have a certain add-on equipped. Some additional things to note about each color. The purple gas's hinder effect persists as long as you are in the cloud and lingers for 2 seconds after you leave the cloud. The cloud itself will linger for 10 seconds, but if survivors enter the cloud, it will reduce the lifetime of the cloud. You also scream when entering the cloud and will constantly cough. Like all hinder effects in the game, you will not be able to fast vault while under the effects. The yellow gas's haste will last for 6 seconds after you leave the cloud. The idea behind this power is to yellow gas yourself and then hinder survivors, causing you to be, in effect, 25% faster in a normal chase. I'm going to take this moment to shout out the Addons Clown Guide, which can and will explain everything much better than me. I'll leave a link to the guide and Addons' socials down below in the description of this video. The clown's skill ceiling is actually massive. His microplay is incredibly complex, and there are so many interesting techs you can do. It's just a fucking shame most clowns don't do that, however. Clown has 6 base bottles that both colors are shared between, and your reload time is 3 seconds, so most clown players will do what I have dubbed the shit a purple method, inspired by ZM Pixie's patented shit a guard term from Old Night, where they throw roughly 4,000 purple bottles and cover half the state of Arkansas in gas so they can practically get free hits. It's a very brain-dead way to play the character, and while I enjoy playing the clown with my brain off, I don't give myself a lobotomy when I do it. At least I use yellow bottles once in a while, for fuck's sakes. I think some clowns aren't even aware he has a second type of bottle, and it's a damn shame because, like I said, he has a lot of cool and complex playstyles that really add a layer of fun and intrigue to playing him. In terms of power level, I have the clown in the C tier, however, and the reason for that is simply because despite his complexity, he is still an M1 killer at the end of the day, and no amount of hinders and haste can help solve some of the bigger M1 killer issues. Large maps, safe and god palette / windows being extra effective, effective. Long loops aren't as bad, but at the end of the day, you will feel the sting of not having ranged attacks or some sort of map traversal. I like picking the clown due to his overall feel. He never fails to find hitting survivors fucking hilarious, and the way he spins his knife and general sound and animation design of playing him tickles a small part of my brain that I can't quite explain. And when you do enact some of the deeper complexity of the character, he can truly feel next level awesome and fun to both to play as and against. So what's my basic solution I mentioned earlier? Split the bottles in half. 3 purple and 3 yellows would force clown players to think more before they act, and would also encourage more of that fun complex. As for perk recommendations, avoid perks requiring to kick gens, as without map traversal, it's kind of a waste of time. Exposed perks are your best friends, as your power allows for more consistent hits. Zanchin Tactics is a pretty strong perk for you, as it allows you to mind game loops with your power far more effectively. I'd also consider things like I'm all ears, nowhere to hide, and more like that to help further with easier mind games and yellow-purple bottle setups. I also don't think undetectable perks are that great on Clown. He's very loud, but also it's almost a waste of a perk slot. Clown's playstyle lies in outplaying loops that normally are hard for M1 killers to outplay, so while undetectable can be used, it's not something I recommend pursuing. In general, the Clown's perk loadout contains your core M1 perks with immediate aura readings for mind gaming loops easier. My personal favorite build on Clown is Stabiffle, Rapid Brutality, Sloppy Butcher, and Surge. The Save the Rapid combo helps you end chases extremely quickly. Sloppy Butcher provides indirect slowdown, and Surge provides direct passive slowdown. At the end of the day, the Clown is a mostly fine killer, with the only minor change of bottles needing to be split, and I'd honestly call him one of DBD's most perfect killers, with legitimate counterplay, well-designed power, and more. I think if you want a relaxing killer game, the Clown is one of those who is best at it. The Clown's perks are built around survivor control. You have 1 for blocking windows, 1 for disrupting healing, and 1 for extra regression. Pop Goes the Weasel is an A tier perk. Whenever you hook a survivor, Pop activates for 45 seconds. Kicking a gen within that time frame will blow it up for an additional 20% of its current progress. Reminder that this stacks on top of the base 5% of total progress your normal kicks do. Bamboozle allows you to vault windows 15% faster, and the window you vault is then blocked for 16 seconds. I label this a B tier chase perk mostly because it's honestly more limiting than I think it should be. It's mostly used to outplay Shack or God windows, but the issue is the 16-second timer. You can only have 1 window blocked at a time, so I have no idea why the timer is there. In my opinion, the perk should either block all windows you vault for 16 seconds, getting rid of the number you're allowed to block, or block the window you vault until you vault another. Either one would skyrocket the perk into high A tier. Finally, we have Corlophobia, a rather underrated perk in my honest opinion. While survivors heal in your terror radius, they heal 50% slower, and all healing skill checks move 50% faster. It's a pretty solid anti-healing perk put somewhere in the lower B. What holds this perk back is it has to be put on killers who are ever present with their terror radius. High mobility killers like Billy, Blight, and even Legion, or the ever-present Wesker can make good use of the perk. I honestly think it's a hidden gem and can be a cornerstone in some builds. Moving on to add-ons. The Clown's add-ons are actually mostly strong. It's very simplistic things like increased amount of time hindered haste happens, increasing the cloud sizes of each color separately, and increasing the intensity of the haste hindered. He has a surprising number of aura reading add-ons and also has a couple of meme add-ons that basically do nothing. The add-ons of note are the 2 that increase the intensity of the hindered haste, which I put in the S tier because of how big their impact is, and I also wanted to brush on Pinky Finger. While I think Exposed is a strong status effect, I think that the add-on is too limiting. It basically bottlenecks you into either back revving the survivor or using the add-on specifically for camping. Overall, the add-on design is boring but effective. I still hate flat number increases above the yellow tier as a design choice, but I can at least respect the uniformity. Outside of the Smelly Souls, which gives you more movement during reloading, and the meme add-ons Confetti Bottle, which provide a blood point bonus and confetti VFX, and VHS porn tape, which swaps the color of the gases, the add-on spread is solid and everyone can find something they are looking for. Add-on combos I'd recommend are of course the two S-tier add-ons, Cheap Gin and Flask of Bleach for incredibly powerful chase and anti-loop, Cigar Box and Middle Finger if you have trouble keeping track of survivors. I'd say a good cost-effective combo is Flask of Bleach and Bottle of Chloroform. Outside of that, playing around with different add-ons can be fun and can lead to some pretty neat builds, like using double yellow bottle add-ons in a haste perk build, or using Pinky Finger in an in-game camping build. At the end of the day, the clown is basic, but effective. He's a fun killer who feels like a satisfying filler, and he's one of my favorite wind-down killers to play. When I just want to play, he's in a constant rotation. I think he's genuinely one of the best designed killers in the game, with only a slight modification needed for his power, but other than that, I enjoy him for what he is. And that's all I have for you guys today. As always, a great big special thank you to my channel members listed on screen now. If you want to find out how to become a channel member today, get awesome perks like seeing videos early, merch discount codes, and more, then please click that join button down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. If you love the clown and also want to support the channel and look great while doing it, then check out this clown-inspired merch that I have in my merch shop, linked in the description down below. The Candy Tonic hoodies and t-shirts are available to you, as well as various other Dead by Daylight themed merch. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love you so much, and have a great one.